An interesting love letter to one Monaco GP here, but updated a smidge to sit nicely on the Game Boy, amongst other top-down point-to-point races like your Dead Heat Scrambles and so on. You control a red car through a 4-race season, with the aim being to top the 150-strong field at the end of the 4. You'll start off at the very back and have to work your way through the hordes of blue cars. The position you finish a race in is where you'll start the next one, and if you fail to get first place by the end of the 4 tracks, the season will start again. You get progressively more money the higher you place, with which you can upgrade your car's engines, tyres, chassis, steering and so on. So it's a bit of a grind fest, but eventually you'll be powerful enough to beat the first season, after which you'll go through to a higher echelon of competition and do it all again. Shutokou refers to the Capital Expressway, a network of tolled highways essentially that surround the greater Tokyo area of Japan. So you guessed it, this is street racing. You'll come across coned-off lanes, roadworks, non-racing motorists, and even the highway patrol. If you see a little pop-up that looks like a siren, it means a cop car's about to come up behind you. They don't pull you over or anything like that, it's not road rash, but will shoot forward down the line that they appear, wiping out any and all cars they touch. Your opponents usually fail to dodge it, but you're given enough time to maneuver your vehicle to one side and let them cruise on through. You get a bunch of lives, as indicated by the hearts in the top right. If you crash into anything, such as the sides or another car, you'll lose one of these lives. Lose them all, and you'll game over, which I think is the only way to actually lose here. Even if you somehow come last, you'll still get some prize money. The shop here is the only area you might need to read a bit of Japanese, but even then I shouldn't be too concerned. Just buy the more expensive things from each of the 6 categories, then make sure they're fitted. You're able to sell off unused parts, but money is so easy to obtain here that there's not a lot of need to. In the race, you'll see things like oil spills, which reduce your traction for a bit, as well as narrower sections that'll appear from time to time. You get plenty of warning on screen, so you don't need to memorize the tracks. Other races are the blue cars, but sometimes you'll see these cars that flash blue and red. These are other motorists, and they'll often appear at merge points on the highway. You don't go up a position when you pass them, but you can quite easily crash into them still, so be aware. Honestly, the most jeopardy comes from crashing into the sides, and if you do so, you'll immediately come to a full stop and have to accelerate all over again. Your car has a low and high gear, but it'll shift between them automatically. The controls are easy enough to grasp, but it'll benefit you to stick more to the center of the road, as the walls do have a tendency to suck you in, and the slightest contact is enough to register a crash. At first, you might think the graphics are a bit too simplistic, and maybe they are, but actually the perspective you get between the elevated road and the cityscape underneath is pretty cool, and for a game that still works on the original DMG console, you can't be too harsh on it. Early on in the color's lifespan, we can give it a pass to a certain extent. Once you beat the initial 1500 class with 150 participants, the 2500 class opens up, and now there are 250 drivers, so you're gonna have to race multiple times. Even if you're flawless over all 4 races, you're simply not fast enough with the basic car to win. There's also a classic mode, which is more akin to the old aforementioned arcade game, where you just need to earn points. It's fair to say the main game has been elongated by grinding a fair bit, but for a simple, fun racer, the Shutokou Racing certainly isn't the worst title you could find.